Lyra Valkyria adding fuel to her rivalry with Becky Lynch. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we've got some truly surprising and heartwarming news from the WWE Universe. In the aftermath of WrestleMania 41, WWE is no stranger to explosive rivalries. But one has quietly grown into a full-on storm, a rising warrior challenging the very legacy of a legend. Lyra Valkyria is no longer the quiet NXT standout. She's no longer just a prospect. She's now standing on Monday Night Raw with a mission to tear down the man, Becky Lynch. And when Becky disappeared from WWE TV after WrestleMania, Lyra saw an opportunity not to wait, but to speak out. Loudly, publicly, ruthlessly. Today, we break down how Lyra Valkyria is adding fuel to this white-hot rivalry and why her bold comments about Becky Lynch being MIA may be the biggest shot fired yet. This is not just a feud. It's a fight over pride, legacy, and the future of women's wrestling in WWE. Let's dive in. To understand why Lyra Valkyria's recent comments have set the WWE Universe on fire, we have to rewind a little. Lyra's rise in NXT wasn't just impressive, it was surgical. A mix of calculated strikes, swift aerial offense, and a relentless mentality made her one of the most captivating stars on the brand. When she captured the NXT Women's Championship in late 2023, it was clear she wasn't just another performer. She was a future main eventer. But even then, there was a shadow looming over her, the legacy of another Irish warrior, Becky Lynch. Becky, the self-proclaimed the man, had achieved it all. WrestleMania main events, championships, global superstardom. And for Lyra, who often cited Becky as an inspiration, this wasn't just about respect. It was about one day proving she could surpass her. Fast forward to early 2024. Becky returns to NXT for a one-off match to defend her Raw Women's Championship. And guess who stood in the ring with her? Lyra. That night, they exchanged glances, mentor and protege, but the seeds of competition were sown. By WrestleMania 41, both women were on the same roster, but walking vastly different paths. Becky was tangled in drama with Bayley, damage control, and the ongoing chaos of Paul Heyman's influence. Lyra? She was quietly building wins and momentum. And then, Becky vanished. The mysterious absence. Dark visuals of Becky's last appearance. Following her shocking betrayal of Bayley on the road to WrestleMania 41, Becky Lynch delivered one of the most controversial promos of her career. She wasn't apologetic. She wasn't remorseful. She was dangerous. But after the dust settled from WrestleMania, Becky Lynch simply disappeared. No interviews. No matches. No social media activity. Fans speculated everything from injury to suspension to burnout. WWE, in classic fashion, remained tight-lipped. Becky's name vanished from promotional posters. No mention of her return. And in a locker room filled with hungry superstars, that kind of silence speaks volumes. For most, Becky's absence would be off-limits. A forbidden topic. But Lyra Valkyria saw it as an opening. Lyra calls out Becky. On the April 29th episode of Monday Night Raw, Lyra Valkyria was interviewed backstage after a hard-fought win over Shayna Baszler. But instead of basking in her victory, Lyra shifted gears. With fire in her voice, she said, "I didn't come to Raw to fill space. I came to take over. And I'm not going to keep waiting around for people too afraid to face the pressure. Becky, if you're watching, maybe it's time you stop hiding behind your legacy." Boom. A direct hit. Social media exploded. For the first time, someone publicly questioned Becky's absence. But it wasn't just the words, it was who they came from. Lyra wasn't some rookie looking for clout. She was an Irish fighter who knew Becky better than most. In an exclusive WWE.com interview posted later that night, Lyra doubled down. "I respected Becky Lynch. I really did. But respect can fade. Especially when someone disappears the moment things get messy." She wasn't pulling punches anymore. The tone had shifted. This wasn't student versus mentor. This was challenger versus idol. Locker room reaction. Lyra's call-out didn't go unnoticed in the WWE locker room. According to backstage reports from credible sources, several superstars were caught off guard by how personal Lyra's comments were. One unnamed veteran reportedly said, "You don't go after Becky unless you're ready for war. She remembers everything." Others, like Zoe Stark and Candice LeRae, praised Lyra's boldness, calling it a necessary shakeup in the women's division. Even Bayley, still recovering after WrestleMania, posted a cryptic tweet. Sometimes the people closest to you know how to hurt you the most. Fans immediately speculated that Bayley was referring to Becky, or perhaps foreshadowing an unlikely alliance with Lyra Valkyria. The WWE Universe was split. Half admired Lyra's courage. The other half warned her she was playing with fire. Why Lyra's strategy is brilliant. Let's break this down. Lyra Valkyria's public challenge isn't just emotional, it's strategic. By calling out Becky Lynch at a time when she's absent, Lyra controls the narrative. She's not just challenging Becky's whereabouts, she's questioning her commitment. That resonates with fans tired of part-timers and legends showing up only when it benefits them. This positions Lyra as the voice of the locker room, someone hungry, consistent, and not afraid to speak uncomfortable truths. From a branding standpoint, Lyra has effectively elevated herself into the main event conversation. Every week, fans are asking, when is Becky coming back? Now, they're also asking, will she answer Lyra's challenge? Brilliant move. Where is Becky Lynch? Dramatic visuals of Becky's career highlights fading into black screens. Voiceover. The million-dollar question remains, where is Becky Lynch? There are a few theories. 1. Recovery. Some believe Becky is nursing a minor injury post-WrestleMania and taking time to heal. 2. Creative reset. WWE could be intentionally keeping her off-screen to set up a shocking return. 3. Personal time. Others believe she's simply taking time away for personal reasons. We've seen it before. Public call-outs in wrestling have a way of accelerating returns. CM Punk, The Rock, even John Cena. When the noise gets too loud, WWE listens. With WWE Backlash just around the corner, speculation is running wild. Will Becky Lynch return in time? Could she confront Lyra in person? Or will she send a message in typical Becky Lynch fashion, with a brutal surprise attack? The story writes itself. And even if Becky doesn't return at Backlash, the longer she stays silent, the more power Lyra gains. It's a dangerous game. One that may end with Becky coming back not to shake hands, but to destroy Lyra for good. A victory over Becky Lynch could skyrocket her into title contention. With Rhea Ripley sidelined, the women's title scene is wide open. Lyra is young, fresh, and now controversial. The exact combination WWE needs. And as for Becky, a loss could mark a new chapter. Becky Lynch made her name fighting for respect. Lyra Valkyria is doing the same, but this time, she's fighting against the person who inspired her most. In wrestling, the torch doesn't get passed. It gets taken. And Lyra Valkyria? She's reaching for it now, with fire in her eyes and Becky's name on her tongue. Whether you love her or hate her, one thing is certain. She's forcing Becky Lynch, and all of us, to pay attention.